5 more people sought medical help after the air raid on Sumy on July 11th. As a result, the number of injured has risen to 48. These figures were released by the military administration. Over the past day, the Russians carried out nearly 30 attacks. Are these enemy shelling still ongoing in the Chernihiv region? We'll learn more about everything from our correspondent, Yulia Zaitseva. She's joining us live. Yulia, hello. What news do you have?
Good morning, Yarina. The Russians continue to shell the Sumy region. Yesterday, they once again used MLRS, artillery, mortars, and drones. In total, nearly 20 settlements came under enemy fire. In Sumy, the shelling damaged private houses, a gas pipeline, a store, a gas station, a car service station, and an administrative building. In the Balapalia community, a music school and power lines were hit. In the village of Yampol, 5 apartment buildings were damaged by explosions. People continue to seek medical attention. Residents of Sumy who were injured during the attacks by cabs the day before. In particular, medical assistance was needed for a 15-year-old boy, 4 women, and a 40-year-old man. Let me remind you, at that time, 43 people were injured, 5 were killed, including a 13-year-old girl. Emergency work is ongoing at the impact sites. People are cleaning up and covering windows with wooden boards, while high-rise work is being assisted by SES climbers. Chernihiv region is under fire, particularly the Novgorod-Seversky, Simonivka, and Snovsk communities, which were attacked by FPV drones. Most often, they were hit with fiber-optic guided missiles, loitering munitions, Shaheds, mortar fire, and the enemy also dropped explosives from UAVs. That's all the news I have for now. Yarina.
Thank you, colleague, for the information. Yulia Zaitseva reported on the situation in Sumy and Chernihiv regions. 4 people were injured as a result of a Russian attack on Odessa. This was reported by the Regional Military Administration. Russian military launched a missile strike on the city. As a result, 6 buses caught fire on the grounds of one of the bus depots. Almost 20 more were damaged, and a sanatorium building was also wrecked. Work to eliminate the consequences is ongoing. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has already responded to the shelling. The head of state announced upcoming meetings and negotiations aimed at strengthening our defense. The night before, the enemy attacked the Odessa district with strike drones. According to the Regional Military Administration, one of the strikes hit the upper floors of a multi-story residential building. Another enemy UAV damaged the roof of a building supply supermarket. Fires broke out, but they have already been extinguished. There is no information about any casualties. Our air defense forces neutralized 126 out of 137 enemy targets last night. Our air defense forces. This was reported by the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. 3 guided Kh-5969 missiles were shot down or suppressed in advance. The enemy also actively used attack drones. There were 6 drone strikes recorded at 5 locations, and downed drones fell in 4 places.
According to preliminary data, 123 out of 134 were shot down or suppressed overnight. There were several hits, and of course, some debris fell as well. The enemy is now using them more actively. In addition to the Shahed 131, 136 drones we're already used to, the enemy is also deploying jet-powered drones like the Garan and Thomas. Naturally, their speed is much higher than that of regular Shaheds with internal Starlink chases. That's why, in fact, only a limited number of systems can work against this type
of drone. Last night, Russia was attacked again, with Moscow and the Stavropol region coming under fire in particular. Users are reporting this in Russian Telegram channels. The mayor of Moscow stated that more than 350 drones were flying toward the capital region. According to him, most of them were destroyed, and 50 UAVs were shot down as they approached Moscow. There are videos online showing air defense operations in the Moscow region, which led to damage to residential buildings. The governor of the Stavropol region also warned about the drone threat. In local online communities, people are reporting a drone attack on an oil depot in the city of Mikhailovsk. Footage of the fire at the facility appeared on social media, along with clarifications that storage tanks are burning. The governor stated that as a result of the attack, a fire broke out in the industrial zone in the village of Yasniki. Firefighters and other emergency services are working at the scene. A Russian Shahed drone also flew into Moldova and exploded there. This happened almost 30 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. Police reported that during the night, they discovered an object resembling a drone on the outskirts of the village of Kapanka in the Kauseni district. After it fell, it detonated. According to preliminary information, no one was injured. Later, the Moldovan Ministry of Defense confirmed that it was a Russian Shahed-type drone that entered the country's airspace during a Russian attack on the Odessa region. As noted by the Moldovan military authorities, this new incident is a serious and unacceptable violation of Moldova's airspace. And once again, it confirms that Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine poses direct threats to the safety of the country's citizens and the entire region. The nighttime incident is a continuation of numerous cases where Russian drones have entered Moldovan airspace or crashed on Moldovan territory. President Zelenskyy will take part in the Coalition of the Willing summit in Paris. This was reported by the Élysée Palace. The meeting will be co-chaired by French President Emmanuel Macron, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. In total, 25 heads of state and government are expected to be present. According to the program, the President of France will meet Volodymyr Zelenskyy at the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There, bilateral talks will take place. Before the summit, the first meeting of the anti-ballistic coalition will also be held. At this meeting, they will discuss issues related to means of protecting Ukraine from ballistic threats, industrial cooperation, and the unification of defense experience among European countries and companies. There are no small things at the front. If a vehicle doesn't work, people and equipment won't make it to the location. If there are no drones, it's hard to spot the enemy and complete the mission. That's why the military raises funds, not just for weapons. Today, the soldiers from the Unmanned Aerial Systems Unit of the 30th Brigade's Motorized Infantry Battalion are asking for help. They operate in the Slobozhansk direction and are raising funds for drones and spare parts for equipment that works on the front lines every day. The QR code and card number are now on your screens. Every donation, no matter the amount, helps the military do their job. Listen to the defenders.
Greetings from our Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Unit. The Motorized Infantry Battalion carries out daily missions to protect and hold back the enemy on the defensive line. Right now, our unit is raising funds for drones, spare parts for repairing vehicles for the units. This will allow us to keep the unmanned systems running smoothly and carry out missions effectively. We are reaching out to everyone who can help support this effort. Every contribution is an investment in saving soldiers' lives and strengthening our defense. We thank every Ukrainian for your trust, unity, and support. Together we are strong. Together to victory. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to the heroes.
On Donald Trump's orders, the United States has launched another round of strikes on Iran over the issue of the Strait of Hormuz. According to the U.S. Central Command, American forces are carrying out additional strikes to stop Iranian attacks on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, Iranian media are reporting explosions in the south of the country. Let me remind you, the day before, Tehran completely closed the Strait of Hormuz, claiming that ships were allegedly moving along unauthorized routes. Later, the Iranian side attacked the container ship. In response, the U.S. launched a new, already third wave of strikes against Iran that same night. Later, Central Command reported that they have fired on 140 Iranian military targets. To cover the infantry and destroy shelters with Russian drone pilots. This is the mission of the artillery unit fighters from the 5th Slobozhanska Brigade SCIF of the National Guard of Ukraine. Some of them returned from abroad to defend Ukraine. About how he operates a 30-ton machine named Zuzana in a report by Svetlana Shakera.
The commander of the Rodion unit with the call sign Pastor shows the loading cabin of the self-propelled artillery system.
If you take a moment to open up these protective covers, for example, right here we have a specialized storage compartment where all of the shells are safely stored. Right now they're not here because the vehicle is on a rail car. But this is how the entire operation is meticulously organized and established here. His primary responsibility involves ensuring that all the right charges and shells are delivered and supplied exactly when they're needed. He has all of them numbered by weight. by flight range.
During his conscript service, Rodion was an artilleryman in the ranks of the Slobozhanska Brigade skiff. He quickly mastered modern combat equipment.
He had to adapt because there's a lot of computerized systems here. Less mechanics, more new technologies.
To join the combat brigade, Rodion returned from abroad where he had been working.
At the beginning of the war, I was still living and working there on contract in England. When the war started, I came here to Ukraine. This is my land. My parents are here, my grandparents are here. This is my homeland.
He started as an infantryman. After being seriously wounded near Klishchivka in the Donetsk region, he transferred to an artillery unit. After every accurate shot, the pastor feels proud of his crew because he knows how much the infantry brothers are counting on artillery support.
When the artillery's working, I know from experience, when the long-range artillery's firing, everyone can relax, at least when ours is firing. We even have time to drink coffee right at the firing position.
Roman, the mechanic driver with the call sign Panama, is also getting used to the size of a 30-ton combat vehicle. Before the full-scale invasion, he worked as a long-haul truck driver. He says that with his truck driving skills, maneuvering the Zuzana isn't difficult.
Getting a feel for the size of the vehicle, especially a big one, isn't really a problem. You just have to remember that we have a barrel sticking out in front of it. Other than that, the mirrors help a lot. And my comrades sitting in the turret give me tips.
Artem, whose call sign is instructor, used to work at the tram and trolleybus depot in Kharkiv before the big war. Since 2022, he has been defending the country in his native Kharkiv region, as well as in the Luhansk and Donetsk directions. He says he transferred to the artillery because he wanted to give the enemy a hard time.
After leaving the Serebryansky forest, we went to the checkpoint in Sirkuni. Then from Sirkuni, we went back to the Serebryansky forest in the summer. We left the Serebryansky forest. We went to Klishchivka.
Right now, in the southern Slobozhansky direction, the artillerymen are preparing the system for another combat mission. The guardsmen received the Susan self-propelled artillery system from international partners. The system is equipped with a howitzer and can fire at a distance of over 40 kilometers.
Our most significant and primary objective is to successfully strike and neutralize specific targets that serve as the hostile forces' primary missile launch locations, because they cause the most damage to everyone, infantry, artillery, and logistics.
Artillery will never lose its relevance. In any weather, when drones can't take off, the shell will still fly straight to the target. Svetlana Shakira, Oleksandr Yanovsky, Podrobitsy, Inter TV channel, Marathon, United News.